as Minnie Pearl would say, howdy. Oh, yeah. Here we are, early stream, uh, before the 4 o'clock shadow, which you should be catching every day at 4 Central. Anyway, Crunch Delicious. Yes. Does that want to make you cool down? Nestle Crunch ice cream bar from 1988. Hell yeah. Still good. I mean, I don't recommend, eating such trash, but there you are. Hey, all. I've been out and about. And anyway, I thought I would do an early stream and talk about some things that's been going on, eh? Okay. Okay. Such a hoser. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. All right, eh? All right. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, starring Gene Wilder, premiered 54 years ago in 1971. Wow. Willy Wonka. That was one that I never really quite grew up with. That was on cable TV all the time. And you know, I was still a boy when I saw it, but it didn't have the impact it did on my cousin. He was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding. You've not seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?" No. Kind of like Wizard of Oz. They play it every year. Um, yeah, Willy Wonka's anniversary, the launch of Willy Wonka in the theaters. So it's amazing to think that it was released June 30th, 1971, um, 54 years ago. But like I said, I didn't really grow up with it. Wild Wild West opened in theaters 26 years ago, 1999. I think I went to go see that and was severely disappointed. Not what I was really expecting out of a movie. Um, you know, I grew up on the 3 seasons of the TV show. Uh, that's I believe started out in black and white and went to color. I believe so. Okay, 1986 Price is Right prizes. Dodge Daytona phone car. How much do you think that cost you back in the day? $9,730. Aren't you glad cell phones and phone cars, car phones are cheaper than that? There goes my phone cars, car phones. How about that? Man, about 10 grand for one of those things. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. Okay. Dope. Premiered 26 years ago in 1999. Not a big South Park fan. I haven't watched it. I guess because maybe it's on, not standard TV, and I haven't had internet streaming TV in decades, so it doesn't matter. Um, I get it. People like it. Uh, I might want to go back and watch some of the old episodes. Do the right thing. You should always do the right thing. Spike Lee's movie opened 36 years ago in 1999. Never saw that. On June 30th, 1977, Marvel Comics issued a comic book based on the group I Want to Rock and Roll All Night Kiss. There we go. And I don't know if this was the issue that they had the blood mixed in with the ink, but there you have it. Anyway, I should have bought that when it came out, but I didn't. Star Wars year, 1977. 76 being bicentennial year. You'll find out next year um, how, you know, I don't know. I mean, 2050, 2050, shit. Okay. 250 years, and now we're coming up on 275 years, which I never thought I had to think I would be here, in 2025 or 2026 next year. And I might not be. We haven't got there yet. Anyway, um, need another cup of coffee, I guess. Another sip. Anyway. I've been to the vet and other things going on. Tune in for the 4 o'clock shadow for all that information. But yeah, I mean, you'll find out next year how big a celebration we have for America, and especially with Trump, I imagine it'll be a to do. Now, will it? be like the bicentennial year where you had different specials and stuff. No, different times, different way. I think the world's moved on, but we never move on from true patriotism. Hopefully, I know I haven't. So anyway, yeah, next year should be a big year. But 1977, right after the bicentennial, was a big year too for entertainment and thing. There's just certain things like 1939 with movies where you had Citizen Kane, greatest movie of all time, on the top 100. Now, I disagree with that, but I mean, it was innovative. Why it's so high, held in high esteem, I don't know. I mean, it definitely advanced filmmaking. Okay. So I'm not going to argue that point. Star Wars, I think, is number 14 on there. And I do believe that was an innovative movie as well. Changed movies as we know it for this whole century and the latter part of the 20th century. Anyway, The Devil Wears Prada, 19 years ago. Never watched that movie, come out in 2026. Prehysteria, never watched that. The first in the film series was released in 1993. Karate Kid 3. I don't know. I did watch one, and then watched it on TV 36 years ago in 1989. I don't know if I watched all of the Karate Kid movies. The first one was good for sure. Looking for Love by Johnny Lee was released 1980 from Urban Cowboy. Okay. 1980. Perfect Storm premiered in theaters 25 years ago in 2000. If you didn't catch it at the theater, of course, the rental you could rent, by that time. VHS is being phased out, DVDs coming in. Did you watch A Perfect Storm? I'm sure you've seen it by now. I mean, hell, it's only been 25 years since its release. Speaking of Kiss, and Kiss released their sixth studio album, Love Gun, 48 years ago, June 30th, 1977. Wonderful cover art. Love Gun. I wonder what they're talking about. That was the thing about Kiss. They always had very engaging album covers for okay, wait a minute. Get the camera off. There we go. For sure. See, it only works if you have the visual for it. Anyway, Love Gun. Yeah. Michael Phelps, the swimmer who won so much gold at the Olympics. And I did watch his swimming, during that time. Turned 40. So he's turned 40 years old. And I bet you he still swims. Look at all those gold medals, man. Just awesome. Rex, did you send me a DM for Mr. and I to come on the show today? We're both at work right now. Well, I mean, if you want to come on today, absolutely. If you want to schedule a time, whatever works for you, I would just be happy to see you, talk to you, see what's going on. Don't mean to pry. Yeah, both of you are at work. I understand. You can come on today. I'll send you the link if you've got time. Of course, we go for a couple hours. So if you have to come in late, that's fine. Whatever works for your schedule. I just miss you guys. I want to hear from you. I love you, and we all love you around here. Hopefully. Okay. On June 30th, 1998, Pepsi One was introduced. I don't think that is as popular as Coke Zero. I know it wasn't with my father. Let's schedule a time. It could be nice to hang out. Can't today. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, Mrs. G. Thank you. Yes, I did DM you and your husband both individually, asking if you could come on. I am looking for, more people to come on and stuff and do more interviews and just hang out, with you guys and see what's been going on and what's going to be coming up and talk about your, cookbook, and is there going to be a second cookbook, and who knows, and how's the move coming? I mean, we've got a lot to discuss. Okay. Judge Dredd premiered 30 years ago. Now, I definitely went to see that at the movies. June 30th, 1995. I am the law. Sylvester Stallone. Good movie. Highly recommend it. I like the sequel that was years later, by the way. But now there's a special place in my heart for this 1995 classic. Yes, love. Love, that's all we need. It's a little bit more love in the world. That may be another linchpin or two in our back. Hey, Mrs. G. Debuting the Johnny Carson Show. Who's ever watched that? Dun, 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 dun. Now, Johnny Carson Show, not the Tonight Show, premiered 70 years ago, June 30th, 1955 on CBS. Wow. Now, did that become I don't think this show became the Tonight Show, because the Tonight Show was already going, Bright young comedian Johnny Carson appears as a star of a half-hour variety show. Singer Barbara Rick, I don't know, you read it. Remembered for her appearances on the Dennis Day Show. Will be a regular. Okay. Ooh, wrestling, Hollywood. Coming on, Mr. Citizen, drama, Playhouse of Stars. Early 50s TV, The Whistler. Ooh, drama. Yeah, film. Early TV was like these, like, plays and stuff. Who had a little bitty TV set? Look how young Johnny Carson looks. My gosh. Slick back hair. Everybody had the Brill cream or whatever in their hair. I'm glad I don't have to do that to be considered a man. A man. The Firm, great movie. Sidney Pollack's The Firm, starring Tom Cruise, filmed in Memphis, Tennessee, about an hour away from me, in theaters 32 years ago, 1993, with a younger Tom Cruise. The Firm, good movie. They actually came to rented a fish truck for a scene from down there where my father and brother farm, very close to where they farm, closer to my brother's farm than what my father's was, but down there in Arkansas. On June 30th, 1906. Wow, that's when I was born. Anyway, just kidding. President Theodore Roosevelt signed into law the landmark Meat Inspection Act, and thank God somebody did, and Pure Food and Drug Act. Both laws were partly a response to the publication of Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, which exposed the unsanitary practices in the meat packing industry. Absolutely. People getting sick for no reason, for bad food. It was good night if I was allowed to stay up late and watch Carson when I was a kid. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe on a Friday when you didn't have to be at school Saturday. Debuting, The Guiding Light made its television debut 73 years ago in 1952, June 30th, 1952 on CBS. Isn't that wild? I mean, in a lot of these soap operas, as they call them, because they sold soap. They were sponsors of these morning, and it was for the women, right? Mainly to buy soap and other products and stuff, while the man was out working, during the daytime. Boy, has okay. Think about what you want to say, Rex. Boy, howdy. How about that? Boy, howdy. How things have changed. Tongue twister. Anyway, a lot of these soap operas were on radio long before they were on TV. That's what's amazing, about soap operas is that they're some of the longest. See, my brain says longest and my mouth says wrongest. Oh, well, longest running TV shows of all time, are the soap operas, and we don't even think about them. On June 30th, 1953, The Charge at Feather River. I can't say that I've ever seen that Western, but I would love to. I need to see if that's on YouTube. The Charge at Feather River was released. The film was notable for originating the name, and I'll play it here. Okay. Just a minute. Wilhelm Scream, a stock sound effect later used in the Star Wars film series and numerous other movies. So let's take a look at this. You'll hear the iconic scream that you've heard in many, many shows for decades since then. Check this out. Let me make sure the volume's turned all the way up. There we go. Here we go.
Yeah, I'll just fill my pipe.
Here we go. Okay, there it was. Ah! I think they even had that in Cruella de Vil, the 101 Dalmatians movie when a car crashes. Gotta love it, man. Sound effect. And that, wait a minute here now. Come on, cooperate with me, computer. Yeah, that came out in 1953, that sound effect. It was even in Star Wars. Clint Eastwood's The Outlaw of Josey Wales premiered 49 years ago. See, I'm not wasting your time here with this early stream. There were significant things happen, on June 30th. I don't know why, but, and at the end of June. Welcome to July, by the way. First day of July. Of course, I imagine the good stuffs will be grilling on their 4th of July, Independence Day. I don't even have a hot dog. I've got some meat and stuff I could put on the grill, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to work every day, and I'll be working. It'll be a short night. Spray the area right before the fireworks, and then watch the fireworks. They allow us, an hour or so to watch the fireworks, and then come home. And usually I go over to Wynn, so it's an hour there, hour back. So I get about 3.5, 4 hours maybe on 4th of July. It's not really, but it's time and a half. So that's something. I'll be earning pretty good money for those few hours. Clint Eastwood, Outlaw Josey Wales premiered 49 years ago, 1976. Yeah, 50 years next year. I predict next year will be a pretty big year. I mean, beyond the, public domain stuff, and then, the anniversary, because a lot went on in 1976. And like I say, 1977 Star Wars year too was a pretty good year. Apollo 13 premiered in theaters 30 years ago in 1995. I watched the original Apollo accident, and it was hair raising. Omer Glitch in the house. Hello, Omer. Mike Walters in the house. Hello. On June 30th, 1999, the first issue of Alter Ego from Tomorrow's Publishing went on sale, which was edited by Roy Thomas. My mouth gets away. It's the momentum. Oh no, I'm going to save it for the 4 o'clock shadow, the news I have. I'm sorry. This just, common, everyday news. On June 30th, 1979, Ring My Bell. And I can't sing it, but I love that song when it came out, Ring My Bell, by Anita Ward, reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Yeah, we were still moving and grooving to the disco. Sorry, love it. I love disco. Not all of it, but hey, man, everybody was dancing. It was a fun time. If Jimmy Carter hadn't have been president, Ronald Reagan really should have. They should have ran Ronald Reagan instead of unelected, never elected. The only president we've never voted for, uh, Gerald Ford. Although I like Gerald Ford, I was rooting for Gerald Ford. Stayed up to 10:30 at night. I was a kid, less than 10 years old when that happened. I think in 77 I was like 12, so I might have been 11 in 76. I think that's how that happens, right? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, go Power Rangers, go Power Rangers, you Mighty Morphin motherfucking. Well, anyway, I mean, I always like to, I listened to that with my kids in the early 90s. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie premiered 30 years ago in 1995. Did you go see it? I didn't. No desire to. Not a big Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, 1995 Dairy Queen. We finally got Dairy Queens here. I mean, it's been here a few years, but forever I thought, man, I wish we had a Dairy Queen. And I know that we have like 3 of them around town, you know. North of town, sort of right down from me, and kind of south of town. So we've got 3 around here. And I don't go anymore. I hear these horror stories of all these fast food places. I really don't eat much fast food. Probably the most fast food that I've eaten or at restaurants was when I went to Atlanta, which we ate every night there. 1995, Dairy Queen introduced something very cool, the Blizzard treat, in 1995. So cool down with a nice Blizzard treat. Yes, it'd be hot out there, folks. A little bit of crotch pot cooking going on. Caleb Reynolds in the house, always being the great mod, dropping the link to Devil Flyer, a Devil's Weapon. All right. You forced my hand. The ash can has come down. Off Indiegogo. They took it down finally. I think Omar, I don't know. How do you say his name? Omar Glitch. I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, and my dog's hacking. We did go to the vet, and we'll talk about that on the 4 o'clock shadow. Yes. Anyway, Caleb, thank you for dropping that. But now the ash can, I will not be dropping the link to that anymore. I do have a few left. You got it right, but yeah, if I say it, 20 different ways, right? Yeah, I'm liable to hit on something, right? Anyway, love you, brother. Always love you. I will always love you. I will always love you. Not a manly love, not a man love. There's a difference. Anyway, Bagel Bites. Hey, I had some of these not too long ago. Came out in 1995. Have you had Bagel Bites? They're okay. They're all right. There's nothing to crow about because I guarantee you I can eat that whole plate and 2 more boxes. So it gets a little expensive, but I like Bagel Bites. Hey, Mr. G, I know you're at work. Good to see you in here. It's pronounced Umar. Okay. Omar or Omar. See, you can say that 2 ways. Umar. There we go. I got it right. Umar Glitch. I don't know. Same here. Love you. Long time. Yeah. Yeah. Hubby. Yeah. Yep. Everybody's saying hi or getting high. Do you get high at work? You don't have to answer. Anyway, just having a fun time here today. 1996 Entertainment Center cabinet. I swear, I think I had this. I mean, this just this is an upgrade from the 1970s, folks. Cheap plywood. Get wet, it swells. Not a good thing. But I mean, that's all you could afford, right? Man, I hope they pass this big, beautiful bill thing Anyway, Apple released the iPhone. Wow, big news there. 2007. Uh, so the Apple iPhone, first release. Coming to America, Eddie Murphy. That was a good movie. Premiered 37 years ago, 1988. Hell yeah. I love that scene where he wants to wipe his butt. I think that was it, or was that Arthur? No, it was. Would you like me to scrub your, very shocking. Anyway, it passed, Rex. Oh, it did? The big, beautiful bill passed? It did? Wow. Okay. So they voted early this morning. They worked late into the night, I know. Marvy in the house greeting. What happened? Are you an on OnlyFans? Just for you. I'll send you the link later. Just left work. Have a great day, everyone. Hope your back and hands and everything's feeling good, Marv. Is it Marv or is it Marvy? See, these are the things that I cannot do and figure out. But I try. Ratatouille. Probably rented the disc to that one. Don't think I did buy the Pez though. They have Ratatouille Pez. Ratatouille opened in theaters 18 years ago, 2007. I remember that. A friend of mine, which I no longer know where she's at, unfortunately, she was kind of sweet on me, but there was no way that was happening. We went to church together. In fact, I would drive her to church because she didn't have a vehicle and drive her back and whatnot. She gave me a great stainless steel pans, though, that she had an extra set and gave me that. Still using it today. Ratatouille was one of her favorite movies, I remember. And we actually watched, I think I watched that first over at her house. Not a bad animated movie. June 29th, 1978, actor Bob Crane. See, I caught myself. 2 weeks from his 50th birthday, was found beaten to death in the Scottsdale, Arizona apartment. The murder officially remained unsolved. Now, if you don't know Bob Crane, if I could get the name right, he was the lead in Hogan's Heroes. He was Hogan. Hogan missed it by that much. No, that's Get Smart. Ratatouille, bless my soul. I really love that rock and roll. Good one, Mrs. G. A good one. See, it's been a while since we've hung out, and so I thought, I feel like streaming, and there was a lot, that happened around this these dates. So I thought, I'll just share with the world. Steven Spielberg, War of the Worlds, speaking of world, starring Tom Cruise, opened in theaters 20 years ago, in 2005. I'm sorry, the 50s version is probably better. I think I did go see this at the theater, though, War of the Worlds. That was actually a 80s TV show that wasn't too bad. I think it was 80s, maybe 90s, maybe 80s. I have it. Anyway, I watched it. It's not that bad. It's entertaining. People magazine cover of 1991, Richard Pryor. Of course, Richard Pryor with this scar tissue there on his chest. He did get burned, severely burned. In a moving last interview, he talks of his brush with death, his mended ways, and his comeback movie, Bustin' Loose. Bustin' Loose was pretty good, Richard Pryor was in Superman 3, and I thought that was pretty good. They went more comedic with it, but it was a good movie. Sounds let's see. Oh, and I watched I showed your video yesterday. We played your music you sent to me. Good stuff. We're making a date with Rex soon. It's a double date. Rex gets double the good stuff. Yes. Kind of like Oreo cookie, double stuff. I am good, Anna. I'm doing well. Working like a beehive. It's interesting you came in here. I haven't really been on YouTube a lot to watch and see if you're gaming, Anna Games. But yeah, we played your video on yesterday's 4 o'clock shadow. We love you on here, Anna, and we'd like you to come on here pretty soon. You know, if you want to come on today, I'll send you the link today. That's how loose it is around here. Um, hope you've made it back from Japan and, snuggled into France really good. Does that sound good? Anyway, sounds like a plan, Miss G. Mhm, mhm. Really? Yeah. 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 We enjoyed it. I mean, it was about 3 minutes long. You can check it out on YouTube. Anna, you've got a wrench if you want to drop a link to that where people can see that if they missed it on the 4 o'clock shadow. How dare you? Go watch it on YouTube. I could get it here real quick, but I think Anna's probably got the link there too. June 29th, 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, creating the United States Internet. Not internet. That was Al Gore. Yeah, right. Interstate highway system. Hell yeah, we owe a lot to Eisenhower for doing that. I mean, mobile America, right? Hell yeah. And we've improved on it ever since then, hopefully. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate that. Didn't mean to put you at work, dear. I hope you're doing well. See, if I stream earlier, I get the funnest crowds. 1978, Six Flags Magic Mountain opened its Colossus roller coaster. How about that? I don't know if I ever rode that, but I have been to Six Flags, and it was a lot of fun. I've never been to Disney World or Disneyland. My brother does, but he's so young he doesn't remember. Peter Gabriel released Red Rain 38 years ago, 1987. Cannonball Run 2 premiered in theaters 41 years ago in my graduating year, 1984. Cannonball Run, yeah. Oh, there's that chick from Taxi. Oh, look, and Don DeLuise, he looks very much like Cecil there. Uh-huh. We know where Cecil got his look. Yeah, Telly Savalas there. Looks like maybe Frank Sinatra down there. Of course, this is the artwork, and not Waylon Jennings, maybe not Waylon Jennings. What's his name? Can't remember. Jackie Chan, maybe there. Yeah. The popcorn's in the lobby, the nuts are on the screen. Oh yeah, and Klinger from MASH. Yeah. 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 But yeah, we know where Cecil got his look now, Cannonball Run. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you need to speak English more often. That's all right. I don't understand much French or Japanese myself. I need to work on that. I do like studying languages. I know I'm learning English, and I'm working on. Well, I was working on speaking Hebrew. Urkel, Urkel alert. Used to love those little magic slate things. Savage Streets, starring Linda Blair, was released 41 years ago. Never saw that one. 1994. You can tell by the hair. Savage Streets. Did you ever watch Savage Streets, the movie? I haven't. I bet you Shadow Hawk has. There's only their only law is an eye for an eye. Okay. But if it's an eye for an eye, don't you go blind? Steven Spielberg's AI. I watched that. I just don't like that movie. I don't know. I did watch it 24 years ago, 2021. But Steven Spielberg, is hit and miss with me. I like Schindler's List. Jaws is okay, although I didn't watch it at the time. My dog's hacking again. I have given her medicine, and hopefully we'll get a new script. You know, she's. I'm taking her back to the vet tomorrow. 1974. I remember Mikhail Brishnikov defected from the Soviet Union to Canada while on tour with his touring ballet company. Good for him. Yeah. I'm not a communist. Bachelor Party. Now that was a fun one. Premiered 41 years ago in 1984. Bachelor Party, another Tom Hanks movie. I vaguely remember that. I probably watched it. If I didn't watch it at the theater, I watched it at the movies. Is Abby having a snort attack? Well, she hacks because of her heart murmur, and I think the pills help keep the fluid off the heart. I don't know. I'll ask the doctor tomorrow if I can have a consultation with him. I don't know. Yeah, I give her medicine twice a day for that, and she has been doing better on that medicine. Coffee with a little bit of lime juice. Hell yeah. Hey, you put it over your meat on the grill. Why not in your coffee? 1974 Sundown. One of Shadow's favorite and mine by Gordon Lightfoot, who passed away last year, I believe it was, reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Shoot, what's his name? Just like a woman. Really thought that Gordon Lightfoot was the stuff, when it came to music. Who am I trying to think of? Moonraker. Oh, I watched that. All the Bond movies. Opened in theaters 46 years ago, 1979. Hell yeah. Moonraker. Second appearance of Jaws, and Jaws got a girlfriend in that one. And they actually survive. How about that? Why not in your coffee? You're too far gone for me to explain. Oh, Mrs. G. Oh, yeah, I can tell you're fun at parties. Anybody that dresses up as the lead singer of Guns N' Roses. I couldn't think anyway. All right, all right. All this. All right. All this in a commercial. How about that? 1987. This takes me back. Check it out.
Are these your drugs?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not.
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. That's going to leave a mark. Oh my gosh. Where'd you learn that from? You, okay? You. Oh, one of my favorite movies featuring comic books, Meatballs. Marvel 2-in-1 issue 50. With John Byrne artwork. One of my favorite issues of all time. With the original thing and the Rocky thing, all in one book, drawn by John Byrne. Hell yeah, I don't know who the inker was on that, but featured very prominently in Meatballs, the Bill Murray movie. Fun movie. Came out in 1979, 46 years ago. Has it been that long? Wow. That's a great movie. Love Bill Murray on those movies. Hell yeah. Early movie by him after Saturday Night Live. One of the best. Now, Groundhog Day, that gets a little irritating over and over and over again. It gets I mean, how many times can you watch Groundhog Day? Really? Now and later candy. Yeah. Grew up chewing some of that hard stuff. Took the enamel right off or the fillings right out of your teeth. Yeah. The good old days. Taffy and gum and sugar. We were killing ourselves, but, we didn't care. Pretty sure that's not his real dad. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't let him speak. Ethereal dragon in the house. Hello. I saw someone drinking coffee with 2 sticks of crispy bacon in it. Looks good. Negatory. Nah, not going for the Grease factor. Although Grease was a great movie. I love it. Probably my favorite musical besides Flash. That's kind of a rock opera. St. Elmo's Fire premiered in theaters 40 years ago, 1985. A lot of people, a lot of buzz about St. Elmo's. You know what I mean? You know the thing. St. Elmo's Fire. See, this is one of the funnest improvs of all time. Of all time. Anyway, yeah. I just never got into St. Elmo's Fire. It's okay. I don't know if I've watched it more than once in my lifetime. It's okay. Michael Vale. Wow. Born June 28th, 1922. Who is Michael Vale? Well, he's an actor, and he's also known as Fred the Baker from Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Man, that donut looks good. Donuts are a weakness for me, I must say. I could go chew on a rock or some gravel, and that would give me more minerals or more vitamin. I don't know, more nutrition than a donut. But donuts are so good. Oh my God. I have to just not eat them. I can go through a couple of, well, let's put it this way. Years ago, they had a Krispy Kreme, and this was when I was on a spraying job. Labor Day weekend, by the way. Spraying like 10 hours a night. I was trying to get in as much time as possible without just killing myself. And they gave me a card, a comp card to pay for the motel, to pay for my food, 3 meals a day, or at least 2 meals a day. Maybe it was 2 meals and I got a continental breakfast. I can't remember. But for supper, often I would go to the Krispy Kreme and get a dozen donuts and share them with the other guy that worked there. Hell yeah. That's lime is okay, but bacon is going too far. I think so too. The grease, and then even if it's crispy bacon, the coffee's going to make it rubbery, right? I mean, you're going to have an oil slick on top of your coffee. And then if your coffee cools down, then you got grease in your cup. Nah, I'll pass on that. But now lime, just a little spritz for taste. It takes bitterness out too. It's not really, if you get it too much, it's going to get acidic. I've tried both fresh lemon slices. I've tried lime slices in coffee. It gets a little tart. All you need is a little spritz of lime, in my opinion. I like it better than lemon. Lemon's a little bit more acidic. It seems like kiwi is definitely acidic. Of course, orange is very acidic, and I wouldn't. But look, if you think about it, I'm getting my caffeine and my vitamin C all in one shot. Wish I knew more French, but sadly, I only know a little. I know a little. Probably said that wrong too. Now, bacon donuts, I would do. Bacon donuts, I would do. And they do. They do? Yes, afterwards. Anyway, they do make bacon donuts or donuts topped with bacon. I've seen them. Sometimes dipped in chocolate. Now, chocolate covered bacon, I'm fine with. You got the sweet and you got the salty from the meat. Preferably dark chocolate. If you take a little Hershey square, you look at me when I'm talking to you. If you will take a little Hershey square of good dark chocolate a day, it doesn't take much. Take it like medicine, a little treat. I'm going to treat myself with a little dark chocolate, just a little bit every day. The more bitter, the better. Okay. If you got a good quality dark chocolate, that will reduce your chance of heart problems by 50%. Now, why wouldn't you do that? I do it every day religiously. No, not when the budget says I can't afford chocolate. I like the chocolate cranberry. Ooh, that's good. Chocolate and cranberry. You can get it at Aldi. Um, but yeah, a little bit of dark chocolate will help your heart go a long way. We all have our weaknesses. They'll find my dead body one day and there will be a melted gallon of ice cream on my lap. Yeah. And what will it be? Will it be Rocky Road? Because that could get really messy. They'll just think you vomited on yourself. What would it be? Pistachio? Who wants pistachio? I don't. You know, I find it hard to find black walnut. That's good. Um, Butter pecan. Oh yeah. Strawberry. I mean, vanilla, chocolate. Come on, classics. Banana split. I thought the bacon coffee thing was grow would grow initially, but after a few seconds, it made sense to me. A little experimental, but maybe worth the try. Well, I mean, I would be willing to try it if it would get me views. We could do that. I could have some crispy bacon in my coffee and try it. Sure. Loved visiting France in the summer of '96. It was beautiful. Mint chocolate chip. I can eat that. Not a big favorite with me, but yeah, it's I like the crunch of the chocolate and stuff. But mint, okay, all right. I wouldn't turn it down if it was the only thing at a party. Oh Jesus! My mama told me I wasn't allowed to date dark chocolate. Eh, what's your mama know? She married a man. Sorry, I meant gross, not grow. Bacon was gross initially, but after a few seconds, it made sense to me. Um, that made sense to you, really? Okay, bacon coffee does sound gross. No, right? Okay, all right, there we go. The Naked Gun 2.5. The Smell of Fear. Those Naked Gun movies. um, Yeah, Naked Gun 2.5. The Smell of Fear premiered in theaters 34 years ago in 1991. Oh, Good Humor Bar. Good Humor Dinosaur Bar from 1993. That'll cool you down. I've never seen one of these weird things. Did you ever see? Now, I do like Good Humor. It's kind of got that strawberry, or chocolate crumble on the bars, that come on the wooden sticks like this. Oh man, those as a kid. Oh my God, that soft outer, whatever it was, styrofoam, and then that ice cream underneath. Scarlet fever in the house. What's up, everyone? Hope you are all having a great start to your week and your month. It is July, folks. Hopefully, we will all be grilling and all kinds of stuff. Convoy, starring Christopherson and Ali McGraw, and Ernest Borgnine, premiered in theaters 47 years ago in 1978. Now, Ali McGraw was in one of the biggest hits, A Love Story, and then she met up with really her acting career got sidelined by Steve McQueen. She married Steve McQueen for a little while, helped raise his son Chad a little bit. But then, eventually broke it off with Steve McQueen and went back to acting. And so Allie in the movie Convoy with Chris Christopherson, maybe seen that movie. Definitely heard of it. Breaker, good buddy. Yeah, CB radios used to be a thing in the 70s. My handle was Double Trouble, and boy, was I. Didn't use it a lot, but 1978, couple years later in 1980, Steve McQueen would be dead of cancer. He probably had cancer at that time. June 28, 1975, President Gerald R. Ford. We talked about him earlier. He's there on the left. I'll show you in a minute. The only unelected president took over after Richard Nixon resigned, hosted soccer star Pele at the White House. I kind of remember that. There we go. Of course, Saturday Night Live, he stumbled down the plane stairs at one time. And actually, Gerald Ford used to play football and was quite athletic and was a runner and all types of athletic stuff. He wasn't clumsy at all. But that's how we kind of remember him. Hey, Arnold, the movie premiered in theaters 23 years ago in 2002. Didn't watch that. Maybe you did. Maybe with your children or grandchildren. Who knows? Oh, yes. I remember this quite well. I think I was watching the match, or I probably saw it. I probably saw it on replay. It seems like I watched the match, but maybe I watched it on the news. On June 28th, we were talking about this the other day. 1997, Mike Tyson was disqualified for biting Evander Holyfield's ear in the third round of their heavyweight rematch. I remember that. I think he was barred from boxing for a while, right? Look, he's got Mike Tyson. He's got Mao, a communist, tattooed on his arm. Wow. A portrait of Mao. Not a good look. I have an ear like that, and it's, not even been bitten off by Mike Tyson. True story. Superman Returns. I did go see this one, starring Brandon Ralph, like mouth. So I guess it's Ralph. Opened in theaters 19 years ago in 2006. It was okay. I didn't think it was anything special. Don't like the Lois Lane. Really don't. As Lois, the casting on that. And then, I don't know, he seemed a little wimpy. On June 28th, 1969, love theme from Romeo and Juliet reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100. Yeah. Hussey that played in Romeo and Juliet, she passed away either last year or the year before. Great movie. We watched it in high school, for Romeo and Juliet. I guess that was about the extent of my exposure to, Shakespeare, Of course, Hussey would later play Mary, a young 16-year-old Mary in the mid 70s for Lamb of God miniseries on TV. I remember her in both those roles. Andy Gibb in 1984 was on Give Me a Break. Sadly, he died before any of his brothers, the Gibb brothers. June 28, 1969, the Stonewall Uprising began in New York City, marking the start of the modern gay rights movement. Oh, boy. Striptease, starring Demi Moore, premiered in theaters 29 years ago, 1996. Did you watch that? I don't know that I've seen that. Maybe once. There was some salacious talk about it around the time. She was in Ghost. That was good. Of course, the cover with her pregnant on there. That's been mimicked by She-Hulk, of all things, by John Byrne, I believe, on the cover. On June 28, 1971, the United States Supreme Court overturned the draft evasion conviction of Muhammad Ali, who was formerly Cassius Clay, I might add, who had refused induction into the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. Ali. See, if you change your name like that, you're going to get confusing when you try and read it. Ali converted to Islam in 1964, sadly, and cited religious reasons for not enlisting. So, I guess you could say there was something, cop out? I don't know. Some say during his prime, that interrupted his boxing career. Or was that Elvis? Anyway, 1972, Richard Nixon announced that no more draftees would be sent to Vietnam unless they volunteered for such duty. By September 1972, approximately 93% of 543,000 U.S. troops stationed in Vietnam when President Nixon assumed office had been withdrawn. And Elsie was in the next draft round. He could have went to Nam, but he didn't. Heaven Can Wait, 1978, Warren Beatty movie with Julie Christie and James Mason and others. I remember the hubbub above the movie. It's a good movie for Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty is one of those soft sales for me. Now, of course, he was in Bonnie and Clyde. I guess that's okay. I mean, again, he's a little soft for me. Now, great as Dick Tracy. Warren Beatty's one of those, Hey, Rex, I'm looking forward to the Resurrection. You sure it's not an erection that you meant there? Maybe that's spell check for you. By director Mel Gibson and Passion of the Christ, too. I'm sure you are as well. I am, too. Yeah, they're supposed to start filming that. I was hoping, there was some speculation at the beginning of the year that the Passion of the Christ 2 would be released later this year, but it's sadly not. It's going to be start principal shooting of it in sometime in August. So it hasn't even really began filming. So it's about a month or a month and a half away from filming. But I can't wait till it comes out. You are correct, sir. In 2007, the United States officially removed the bald eagle from the list of endangered and threatened wildlife. Nearing extinction by the mid-20th century, the bald eagle's recovery stands as one of the most remarkable wildlife rehabilitations successes in history. 1992 cover here. There we go. A big year for E.T. People magazine. Ouch. That's the only thing I remember. That and the finger. No, a good movie. E.T.'s a good movie. Saw it multiple times. June 28th was Mel Brooks' birthday. He turned 99. Mel Brooks turns 99. He married The Graduate. You know that. No, not Dustin Hoffman. They have one son, Maximilian. What a name. The Nutty Professor, starring Eddie Murphy, premiered 29 years ago in 1996. Did you go and watch that? I remember the original Nutty Professor with Don. I was going to say Don Knotts. It's not Don Knotts. It's Jerry Lewis. Yeah. I've seen the Eddie Murphy version. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I like Eddie Murphy. On Garfield and Friends, Wade Duck wears a pool float with a duck head on the front that mirrors his facial expressions and even mimics the directions of his gaze. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. 1980s Carnation Instant Breakfast. Did you ever try that? I did. Not that great. Really not that great. But I have done that. I can still taste it. You got to make sure it doesn't clump and you get it mixed up well. But yeah, I've tried Carnation Instant Breakfast. Sorry about the erection on Mayor. After these messages, we'll be right back. I'm not going anywhere. Hey, where did everybody go? Who turned the lights out? Solar Shades, 1999 by Pizza Hut. Wow. Drop by any Pizza Hut restaurant and get a pair of futuristic solar shades inspired by Back to the Future 2 from 1989. I never got any solar shades, but okay. Cool. Don't look into the sun. Children of the Sun. Oh, hell, I had this. Retro Zenith television remote control. Did you have one like this? I think I did. Who let the dog out? All right, here we go.
Look at
It's time for a commercial. Retro commercial. Yay! We love these. Or do we?
Look at this exciting approach to dual image photography that has everyone doing double takes. Double take. Each double take portrait captures two expressions, a memorable head and shoulders pose and a delicate profile. Double take. It's part of our $12.95 portrait package. 95-cent deposit, total package price $12.95. Double take.
Available Wednesday through Sunday at all Sacramento area Kmarts.
Sacramento. I got your big package right here, and I once did a double take, but sadly, I was drunk at the time or had a concussion. Anyway, I love those retro commercials. They take me back. I actually have some DVDs that have commercials. Baskin Robbins Rainbow Sherbet. I don't know if I think I've had that. I like it. I like Rainbow Sherbet. Hell yeah. Very sweet. That'll cool you down on a hot day. Although today's not that bad. I had one of those remotes. Yeah. I think I did too. I want some Rainbow Sherbet now. I went into a place, a pharmacy, and they have dots. And the theaters have dots, some of the theaters. Hercules. Now, I grew up with the 60s Hercules, or actually it was late 50s, early 60s, I think, Hercules. And, that reminds me, I meant to, let me do a search here. So I was going to open the show. Rex's trailer. I bet you it'll come up in a YouTube search. Now, wait a minute. Rex's trailer Hoofbeats. What the? From 1950s. What? I didn't put in Hoofbeats. What the hell? Rex's trailer. Let's see. Rex's, where'd the S go? Trailer. There we go. Now it says Rec trailer. Why won't it give me that? Ah, damn it. What the hell? Let's see. Put in Doc Blaylock. How about that? Because he did the trailer. Doc Blaylock. Okay. There we go. Dr. Blaylock. He gave me Dr. Blaylock. What the hell? Jeez. You can't do a search anymore without it changing it? Like autocorrect? What the hell? Anyway, I'll find the trailer if I remember and show it. Anyway, a Disney movie 28 years ago, 1997. I like this. It's okay. It's all right. I wouldn't mind watching it. I probably have it on VHS. I know I've got the little wing Pegasus. It's probably like a Happy Meal toy or something like that, or Burger King something. But I had the little Pegasus from that movie that I think I picked up at a yard sale. That's when I was with my first wife, and we went around to what do you call it? Yard sales. Yeah, we went around to yard sales at the time. The animated series Rainbow Bright premiered 41 years ago, 1984. I never really watched that. My children weren't really born then. Live and Let Die premiered 52 years ago in 1973. Roger Moore's first outing as Bond after Diamonds Are Forever, which was the original Bond, returned for that one. Live and Let Die. Very, very cool. Very cool movie. Loves the theme music. I was thinking the other day about the Bond theme music. Just how many hits with the Bond music. If it was a Bond song, even by Duran Duran or something, it was a hit, you know? I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me. Whitney Houston reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1987. Wall-E opened in theaters 17 years ago, not 2008. I did see that, maybe on rental. I do like Wall-E, pretty cool. They have a Wall-E Pez. Can't speak. You going into work early today or something, Rex? No. No. Got to put up more content than just, the 4 o'clock shadow. Come on. Bonus. Tobey Maguire turns 50. Okay, so he turned 50 the 27th of June. 50 years old. Wow. So I'm about a decade older than him. Wow. Okay. I like Tobey Maguire, as an actor. I thought he made the best Spider-Man. Sorry. Just did. Dark Shadows premiered 59 years ago. June 27th, 1966 on ABC. Hell yeah, I would go home early from work to what? I mean, not from work. Yeah, yes, it was work. School was work. I would come home, get off the bus, and watch Dark Shadow. Soap opera by Dan Curtis, a Dan Curtis production. Joan Bennett, she's an old part of the old, Hollywood crowd. Sometimes they would get the scripts to those on the day. I haven't even checked to see when I go into work to tell. But weather's going to be nice. Actually got rained on a little bit. Oh, 1981. I remember this. Vacation Bible School, the Painted Jesus and everything. Vacation Bible School's going to be here this summer, folks. I've already seen some banners and stuff out there in front of churches. Labyrinth, starring Jennifer Connelly, which everybody was like, ride that horsey, Jennifer. Hell yeah. And David Bowie premiered in theaters 39 years ago, 1986. I did go see that at the movies. A little weird, I wasn't a big Jennifer Connelly per se fan, like Eric and Boyd. He's like, oh, Jennifer Connelly, oh my gosh. I think he is. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Remember that. Aerosmith released their song Head First to Computer Serve subscribers, becoming the first major band to debut a new song on the internet in 1994. Wow. Apple Dumpling Gang rides again. I guarantee you I went to see that at the theater. Don't know that I ever want to watch it again, but I love those early Disney movies. That's about all I ever wanted to watch, that I got to watch. Rated G, 46 years ago, 1979. I don't know. Being a 1979, I may not have seen the Apple Dumpling Gang rides again. But now I definitely watched the original Apple Dumpling Gang, which was much earlier in the 70s. Days of Thunder, starring Tom Cruise, premiered 35 years ago in 1990. Yeah, that was a VHS release when it came out, when VHSs were the thing. Days of Thunder, about racing. Ruthless People premiered in theaters 39 years ago. That was with Danny DeVito and wasn't oh gosh, what's her name? She sang The Rose, the redhead. Wasn't she in that movie? I don't know that I've. Oh yeah, that's definitely her up top. Yeah. Hugh Grant was arrested in Los Angeles and charged with engaging in lewd conduct with a sex worker, igniting an international media storm in 1995. You going to work early today or something, Rick? Oh, that was you, Shadowhawk. Hey, Shadowhawk. I thought Omer asked me that. Jesus heard you, so apologize to him. Yeah, I know. I have one of them remotes. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I can do 2 streams in a day. Just watch me. I can do 2 streams in a day, and they'll both be entertaining, hopefully. No promises. 1957, Hurricane Audrey, one of the most intense June Atlantic hurricanes on record, made landfall near the Texas-Louisiana border, killing nearly 400 people and causing $150 million in damage. That would be in the billions nowadays. So 1957. Wow. Don Henley released his 3rd studio album, The End of Innocence, 36 years ago, 1989. 28 days later, I was actually gifted this DVD along with the sequel by my sister recently. And I have yet to watch it. 28 days later, released in theaters 22 years ago in 2023. So I guess I'll be, I confuse that with the movie that has the vampires, up in Alaska. That's a different movie, right? This is a zombie horror movie. Yeah, I haven't watched that. Red Shoe Diaries premiered 33 years ago in 1992 on Showtime. I did not watch that. Anyway, yeah, we got people begging. I mean, literally begging. Rex, what are you doing? My God. I can remember a time not too long ago, everybody was going, Rex, you stream all the time, which was not true at the time or even now. But you do an extra stream and you get all attention and people get all up in there. Like, what the hell? Well, before anybody has a coronary, have your little dark chocolate and, come back at 4 Central after you've rested, since this stream took so much out of you and zapped your stream. And, come in for some news and fun and just a good hangout. How about that? Biff, bam, bam. Biff. What is the title today? Biff, boom, bam, alakazam, I think. I love my titles. I actually went back and looked at my titles. The history of there. Yes, Abby, it'll be okay. Boom, bop, bam, alakazam. It was that quick. And indeed it was. See you back at 4. Bow for now.